Hi guys, it's Nick here from Legacy Airsoft, and today I'm going to show you how to change a piston in a front wired or any version 2 gearbox. This one just happens to be front wired. So we're just going to get right started here. What we're going to do is take out all of these screws around here. Alright, let's just start by taking those out. May take me a little. If I have to, I may speed this up so that it doesn't take forever. I'd have to give a shout out to V.2, who is our first sponsor of our airsoft team, who gives us, or we get discounts from local airsoft retailers, and so yeah, if you want anything, just gotta hit him up. So yeah, focusing here. If you want to know what a piston exactly does, a piston is pulled back by the sector gear, and all that power unleashed from the spring shoots the piston forward into the cylinder, compressing air. And that air goes at the air nozzle, and that's what pushed into your hop up, and that's what pushes your BB out the barrel. So yeah, the stronger your spring, the more power it forces out. I'm almost done removing all these springs here. There's screws, I'm sorry. I wasn't even paying attention. It's 11 o'clock at night. What I'm really doing is putting something into the back of this hole right here so that the spring guide doesn't swing out. I'm not missing anything. It's just being complicated. I'm going to flip it upside down since combat machine gearboxes are different. I'm not missing anything. There we go. And that's what happens. The only thing that happened was some stuff got knocked around, some shims came off. That's no big deal though, because I know where everything is. This gearbox has been opened up before to be shimmed, so yeah. Let me just put these shims quickly back on here. Alright. Here, to get everything out, there should be a little spring right here under your tappet plate. What you're going to want to do is just take that right out. Alright, so now we can take out this whole assembly. Shim back there. Alright. It's a reversal latch here. It's popped off. Alright. So, here's our spring, our tappet plate and air nozzle, and our buddy that we're changing out today, their piston. So here's the piston. It's a G&G with all plastic teeth except for one, and we're going to be switching it out with this matrix / aim top high speed piston with full metal teeth. Now full metal teeth is good because it helps with short stroking.
It's better to short stroke because instead of using a single metal tooth piston, and taking off a plastic tooth, pulling the metal tooth backwards and making a spacer, this one just gel off teeth.
Yep. Alright, so what we're just going to be doing is putting this bad boy right back in here where that old piston was. Now to check your compression, just put your air nozzle on top of here. We'll see how the compression is. cylinder head's pretty slippery. So that's actually pretty good. Better than other gearboxes I've seen. So back on to reassembling everything back in. Flip this back around. A huge thing I have to stress to you right now is these rails have to meet these rails right here, otherwise your piston will be stripped very quickly. So you just want to make sure it stays on that rail now. And we're moving right along here. Now what we can do is put this spring back onto the tappet plate here. If you can't see it, I will raise it. It should be a little right here on the tappet. Sometimes it's a little tricky. There we go. Alright. Moving right along. Okay, put our bevel gear back in. Now what I can do is put the spring back in. And now our spring guide. It's not a ball bearing spring guide. So now you want to push down on this, right here on probably your end of your piston, and use all your strength to push this back and let this spring guide go into its little place. Now when you're placing it right here, I almost forgot my anti-reversal latch. Okay, so you just take this right out. Probably would have been bad. Okay, now that we got that in, it's back to what I was saying. Make sure this is back on the rail. Push this in, let the spring guide fall into its slot on the back of the gearbox. Push your finger through the hole and let the gearbox rest onto the bushings inside the gearbox. Sometimes you do gotta use a little force. Alright, we got that all closed up now. Now we gotta put the screws back into our holes here. Just a personal preference of mine, just so anything doesn't spring out on accident, I like to do the screws in the back first. But really it doesn't matter, it's just whatever you choose to do. Screws being a little tough guy because it was in the wrong slot. out this little guy here. Okay. Just be careful not to strip any of your screws, so make sure you have the right screwdriver. If I didn't say anything like that in the beginning. Alright. So, just make sure you got all your screws in. Just finish this up. Now put in our last screw here. And voila, you have... Alright, now we put all the screws in, and my teammate Max here would like to have a word.
So hey guys, so I want to talk about the G&G Comet Machines gearbox, or just G&G gearboxes in general. What's nice about them, one thing is, they come pre-radiused. If you notice right here in the corners, you see right that? That's a cylinder being radiused. And what this does is, that most other gearboxes don't have stock, is it helps spread the energy, equally in all directions than a just straight 90-degree angle that most version 2s would have. This prevents from the gearbox from actually cracking up here from the impact force of the piston. Also, the stock G&G piston, it's a decent piston stock, but if you guys are looking for higher performance builds, this piston is not your choice. It's kind of soft, it tends to strip. Not due because you did something, it's just the material they use. I've seen this happen on multiple guns, multiple techs, not multiple brands. Those are all G&G pistons. But yeah, that was Nick's video on how to install a new piston to your gearbox. And yeah, this is my side note, and this is Legacy louding off.
Alright, just one quick little thing. If you guys want to see any more tech videos, gearboxes, anything, just leave questions in the comment section below. So, and goodbye.